it's Phoenix Dragon here, and it's Wednesday. I normally would be doing Harvest Moon, but I decided last night that after looking at the timeline for continuing on and getting the whole baby thing going, um, I can't grind that much on stream. Um, so I decided that I'm gonna go back to Phoenix. Right. We haven't done this since Christmas, and we only have one more chapter to go in game one. So I thought we'd finish this one up at least, and then that way I can look at my library and figure out exactly where I'm gonna go with this Worth Wednesday nights. I do apologize. That might help if it was a bit too quiet. Um, so we're gonna get into it. I'm just gonna grab something real quick here, and turn on my light because apparently it's gotten dark out, and I can't see where it's crap right now because I'm blind and all that stuff. All right, let me just stretch on over here to the light switch. Alrighty, let's continue. Rise from the ashes. Yes, load the save data. This is the last episode of game one. So yeah, we're gonna get into it and see what all happens. It's been 2 months since Maya left the office. 2 months without a single trial, and I'm not sure I should have played this game now that I'm thinking about it, because I do have a bit of a sore throat. Had a reaction to something yesterday. I've had offers, but none I took. That is, until the day that girl showed up. February 22, 10:02 a.m. Wright & Co. Law Offices. Why do I come here to the office every day? It's not like I want to work. There you are, finally! Whoa. Where have you been? My sister's trial is tomorrow. Who are you? Doesn't matter who I am. It only matters who you are. The famous defense attorney, Mia Fey. Mia's a chick. You're not Mia Fey, are you? I'm sorry, but Miss Mia Fey no longer works here. So you are the coffee boy? Yeah. I'm Phoenix Wright, a defense attorney. Right. Wait, you're the Phoenix Wright? The Phoenix Wright from the Edgeworth murder trial? Yeah, that's correct. It wasn't Edgeworth who was murdered, though. That's a relief, then. You're better than nobody. I'm sorry, I'm afraid I'm not taking cases right now. But you are Phoenix Wright, right? The undefeated defense attorney? Look, I'm not accepting any new cases. I'm sorry, but you'll have to try somewhere else. Please? I'm out of time. But, please, you have to help. It's my sister. Maya, could it be? Okay, I'll hear you out. Really? Thank you so much. My name's Emma Sky. I'm a scientific investigator. Scientific investigator? Mia's plant, Charlie. I've been taking care of him since Maya's absences. Looks like it's cleaning day again at the hotel across the way. Here they're planning a second branch outside the city. Gods, the bellboy was staring right at me. There's a poster of the Steel Samurai on the wall. Maya stuck it up here on the day that she left. I didn't have the heart to take it down. I do sometimes get strange looks from clients, though. Difficult-looking legal books stand in a formidable row. They mock me. I tried reading one, and it made my head hurt. When I closed it, it slipped out of my hand. That might hurt too. Mine's desk. I sit here even less now that I've stopped taking cases. I had to at least dust it off once in a while. Wow, dude. Fuck. Emma, was it? So you're a scientific investigator. Yes, that's right. Is something wrong? No, it's just you seem kind of jumpy or maybe just young. Young? Probably 16 years old this year. Okay, question. Why is everybody under the normal age of being in their job title in this game? Oh, I see. Wait, only 16? I'm set to be formally assigned to forensics in 3 more years. My work is becoming quite well known, at my age no less. What is your current position then? Well, legally speaking, you should call me an 11th grader. But I'm ready to do my job, at my age no less. Oh, great. Another future professional in training. So what's this case about? You said the trial's tomorrow? My sister didn't do it. She wouldn't stab someone with a knife. She wouldn't. So it's a murder case. I don't care if there's a witness who saw her do it. She didn't do it. I know she didn't do it. It's a scientific fact. And there's a witness? Just talk to her. You have to talk to her. Right. I suppose I will. I promised her I'd bring Mia Fey, but that's interesting. How would she know Mia? So you want to be a scientific investigator when you grow up, then? Excuse me? I'm not a child, I'll have you know. Still, it's good to have a goal, albeit a very unusual one. I believe investigations should be done scientifically, don't you? Yeah. Can't fault her for lack of enthusiasm. I'm sure if this case is handled scientifically, I'm sure my sister's name will be cleared. Your sister? I've been doing research, you know. I'm developing a new scientific method of case investigation. I'll show you when I'm done. I'm looking forward to it. Maybe I should get down to the detention center and talk to her sister. My sister asked for Mia specifically. This Mia Fey person. A few years below her in school. So they went to the same school, huh? She always told me to go to Mia if I ever needed a defense attorney. And well, I need one. Incidentally, Mia is a woman. Now that you mention it, I guess it is more of a woman's name than a man's. Well, it's nice of you to help your sister out like this. You must be close. Well, actually, when she gets like she is now, I kind of hate her. Huh? But she's my only family. Your only family. What about your parents? They died in a car accident when I was little. Oh, I'm sorry. Oops. Okay, we have that. Nothing else. I guess I got a detention center. February 22, visitors room. Why am I not drinking anything? Sorry guys, for some reason, my Pepsi is not coming out of my can. Even though there's liquid in there. I don't know. At least not through the straw. I wonder what's wrong with Emma. She got quiet all of a sudden as soon as she arrived. Guard! I thought I told you I didn't want to listen to this. Sorry, Mom. It's just your sister. No excuses. Or did you not want to raise this year? Understood, ma'am. What was that about? Oh. Hi, Lana. Funny. I seem to remember specifically telling you not to come here. Perhaps my memory is failing. Look, I didn't want to come here either, okay? But your trial's tomorrow and you still don't have a defense attorney. I'll be the one in court tomorrow. This has nothing to do with you, Emma. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Hey, how do you know me? Mia mentioned you. I've heard quite a bit. Sorry, what exactly is that to you do? My name is Lana Sky. I'm chief prosecutor for this district. You're a prosecutor? Two sisters, one a lawyer. Could this be a coincidence? Lana. I mean, they're just like... Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Nope. Now for the camera. The guard monitors the visitor's room. I was in fear of the frigid Miss Lana. I'm feeling a bit chilly myself. Case. Something you should know from the start. Which is, the suspect in this case has confessed to the crime. Huh? Wait, but the suspect is... me. I did it. Well, Mr. Wright? Well, why don't you begin by telling me exactly what happened? The crime took place yesterday, February 21, at 5:15 p.m. It's quite specific. It was in the witness's deposition. The witness clearly saw me committing the crime. That was bad luck, wasn't it? The crime took place in the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car. Prosecutor's office, huh? In your subordinate's car trunk. Classy. I was arrested on the spot, caught red-handed as it were. Well, that's just great. So, who was the victim? An investigator. Hey, OCD! With the police department. Oh, that reminds me. Voila. Tab is muted, still in D&D. No worries. I suppose the correct term is detective. A detective? Death was due to a loss of blood. He was stabbed once in the stomach. By you. Death wasn't immediate, but the wound was fatal. Let's see. Allow me to repeat myself, Mr. Wright. The victim was a detective. You know what that means, don't you? Uh-oh. What, Mr. Wright? What does it mean? Well, it means the police department will consider it a matter of pride to have me found guilty. They will use any means at their disposal to do so. This case gets worse and worse with everything I learn. I so know the feeling. So you're the chief prosecutor. That is correct. I'm responsible for overseeing every trial handled by the prosecutors in this district. I make sure the prosecutors have what they need to do their job, and manage every aspect. Those are my responsibilities in a nutshell. That's an awfully large nutshell. Still, I am a little surprised. I would think you'd recognize the district's chief prosecutor, Mr. Wright. Huh? In fact, it seems impossible. You wouldn't. Lana? What happened to your hand? Oh, this? I caught myself by accident. When I stabbed him, that is. Huh? I'm not very good at being a criminal, I suppose. How am I supposed to defend this? Time to change the subject. Wait, she was in the class ahead of Mia, wasn't she? You were in school with Mia, correct? A few years above her? Emma told you that too, did she? Well, why not? I did drag him all the way here from his office. Although it seems he has a very little in common with Mia. Hey! I was in law school. I was in my third year and she was auditing the class. She was different than the other students. Different? She was strong. She'd do anything to become a defense attorney. Anything. That was probably why she was attracted to me. Excuse me? Intellectually attracted. Lana was top of the class in school. I was the best there was. Oh. I'm doing pretty good in school too, by the way. Sounds a bit different when Emma says it. Well, Mr. Wright? Excuse me? As you can plainly see, I'm admitting my guilt. I think it's safe to say there's no way you can take this case. None. But Lana... Why? Why are you doing this to me? You never think of anyone but yourself. Huh? I know you didn't do it, Lana. I know. So, how can you say you did? If I lose you, I'll be all alone. I hate you, Lana. Wow, it sounds like a typical teenager. Mr. Wright, yes. I believe our discussion here has ended. The rest, I'll leave to you. You mean you're requesting my services as your defense? Don't lose any sleep over it. Your client has confessed after all. The case is over. Right, I'll do what I can to get the bottom of this. Lana's confessed to the crime, yes. But something doesn't fit. It's that look in Emma's eyes. There's something else going on here. And I'm going to find out what. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. Huh? About what? My sister. She's not always like that, you know. I just never expected to be defending another prosecutor again. She's changed a lot. She used to be so gentle, always smiling, everybody liked her. I see. Sorry, but I'm having trouble imagining that. What happened to her? I don't know for certain myself. I think maybe she will... maybe not. Sounds like there's something there that defies a simple scientific explanation. Let's go check out this underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office, shall we? Okay. Alright. February 22. Prosecutor's office. Underground parking lot. So this is the lot where it all happened. Looks like they're still investigating. Funny, that was my first visit. Funny that my first visit to the prosecutor's office should be like this. Hey everyone, keep up the good work! Hey! What are you thinking? Well, they're going to be my coworkers 3 years from now, after all. No harm in saying hello. Actually, there is. You know, attorneys aren't supposed to examine crime scenes. I'm trying not to stand out too much here, see? Hey there! You suspecting to go unnoticed here, partner? Partner? What do we have here? Looks like a Bambina got loose from the ranch and is up to no good. Folks gotta learn to keep them doggies tied down, partner. Mr. Marshall! Marshall looks more like a sheriff to me. Looky here, Bambina. I know how you feel. But this is my gang's gold strike. See? Who the hell is this dude? And what happened to my detective? Strike? This is our claim, our territory, with motherload of evidence. If you're fixing to mess with what's ours, you'll regret it, partner. You know what dreams the cacti out in the desert dream? You want it? What's this guy talking about? I agree. You head home, along home now. Happy trails, Bambina. Is that, Ombre a friend of yours? Kinda, sorta, yeah. He's a detective who thinks he's a sheriff from the Wild West, it seems. Look, a door! This must mean something. I'm not sure that door means anything. No, it won't open. A mysterious lock. Fail to see what's mysterious about it. Mr. Wright, you need to learn to enjoy life more. Let's finish our investigation first, shall we? What's this? A wallet. Excuse me, officer? Wait! What are you doing, Mr. Wright? What am I doing? I just found this wallet, so I'm handing it over to the police. I don't believe it. This is real basic. Anything in a crime scene is evidence. Let's be scientific about this, please. Just put it in your pocket. How is that scientific? It sounds like theft to me. I called to duty already at my tender age. Here, I'll teach you the trick to examining evidence in detail, okay? By the way her eyes are sparkling, I can tell she's been waiting for this. Okay, now, look at the court record. I know how to do this. You have to be sure to examine the evidence clearly on all sides. Now, let's start examining from every angle. Oh! Ooh, hello. Whee! Oh, look! I think there may be a clue here. You should check it out with a press of enter. This is an ID card. Sergeant Bruce Goodman, ID 5842189. See? Well, isn't scientific investigation useful? I guess, though, I don't see what science has to do with it. An idea according to the record. Let's be sure to examine every piece of evidence we find. I guess I gotta be on my toes from now on. Aha! A ladder. That's a step ladder. What's the difference? Scientific terms, please. Scientific, huh? Look at the basic nature of things, Mr. Wright. This all seems horribly familiar somehow. Here, a phone. Let's see if it works. Hey, don't touch stuff we don't need to be touching. I can't hear anything. My ears. No, my ears. Maybe it's due to the barometric pressure? What is she babbling on? What did you just say? See, you can hear me just fine. The phone's broken. This is where the cars leave the lot. The arrow on the ground makes it look more like an entrance. What are you talking about? It's plainly an exit. Or maybe it's both. Kind of a dual purpose? Aha, the theory of relativity. What? Huh? I've got to write this down. Hey, Mr. Wright? Maybe you know was Mr. Relativity German or was he British? Mr. Relativity. Are you sure that was his name? Oh my god, she's worse than Maya. I already want to, like, turn the game off. Wow. This wall is in our way. No shit! It's got a faucet for water. Wait, I know! This wall is merely a facade, hiding the truth. This is no wall, it's a water tank. I fail to see how it makes any difference either way. An oil drum. Looks like it's filled with water. It's heavy, I can't even budge it. The drum over there is on its side. Wait, I know. I'll hide in here and do a stakeout. I think you'll probably just get arrested. In fact, you might not even have to hide in the drum to get arrested. What? That's suspicious. Yeah, I accidentally hit that button. I knew written hard Sergeant Bruce Goodman, ID. Remember why they only use numbers for IDs? What else would they use? Letters, silly. There's a reason we have a written language in the first place. True, Sergeant Bruce Goodman, ID Yabada. See, wouldn't that be better? Yabada. Well, it does have a certain ring to it. Exactly my point. It doesn't make much to amuse her. Whee! I'm trying to put it back right. Oh, hey! There's my ID number. Haha! Oh, hello, here we go. I didn't see the cue. Alright. Well, no time to waste. Let's get hunting for clues. I wonder what this is. Well, partner, looks like you've got no intention of going home quietly. Oh, Sheriff. Like I said before, this is our claim. You best be moseying along. Oh, you're fixing to bite the bullet. Yeah, sugar. Could you just tell us one thing? Who owns that car? Well, that little filly's got a good nose on her. You want to know who rides Red Mustang with the body in her saddle, eh? Please? No problem, partner. About time for vitals anyway. Get yourself to the saloon, up on the 12th floor to the prosecutor's office. Might just find your cerveza that you like. Prosecutor's office. Where does this guy think he is, and when for that matter? Look, note to self. Look up Vittles Saloon Cerveza. Maybe we should check out room 1202, the High Prosecutor's office. Yeah, I don't want to yet. In any case, stay away from the car. You can look around here all you like. Just keep your paws off our claim. Right. Great. Great. Maybe there are some clues around here, Mr. Wright. Let's check it out. Us? Oh. What's this? She couldn't be. You're selling lunches here? This is a crime scene. Hello, half and half, was it? Oh, thanks. And you, sir? Yes. Some crunchy goodness coming at you? Thanks. Interesting way of doing business. This area is off limits to anyone without clearance, especially passerbys. Or are you officers? No, but you don't look exactly like the type to have clearance. Well, that's hardly a way to greet somebody. Even if my days are cough up queen are over. Cough up, huh? You know, I'm feeling kind of full. Maybe I'll pass on lunch. I'm quite connected to this case, you see. The images are burned into my eyes, you might say. Yes, all the sordid secrets. Secrets? Dear me, are you a slow one, aren't you? I'm referring to the murder, the stabbing of that detective. What? The witness clearly saw me committing the crime. You mean you're the witness my sister was talking about? Please, cough up, Queen. Tell us what happened. Oh, that was him. Oops. The name is Angel Star. Don't you go forgetting it. Or before you know it, I'll have you whimpering at my heels. Yes, ma'am. Yipes, she means it. Somehow I knew yesterday was a day of destiny. I knew something was going to happen. Just like I know that daily special on Friday every week is salmon. Was yesterday special for some reason? You're a defense attorney, right? You should know them. You should know the foul misdeeds of the evil ones who haunt this den of iniquity. Evil ones? My brain is already hurting. Wow. The characters alone are already like... Wow. Prosecutors. They have no qualms at all about blackening the name of the innocents, and yesterday they paid homage to the most evil one of all. They gave an award for King of Prosecutors. What a farce! So she's saying there was some sort of prosecutors convention yesterday? I was almost compelled to lace their lunches with something foul. Do you have a personal grievance against prosecutors or something? Or is there some kind of scientific evidence of this, evil? Young miss, mock me at your own risk. You'll soon find out why they call me the cough-up queen. Ew. Most heinous of all the evil ones, the one they awarded yesterday. It was in his car that they found the body. Proof that he devours all the evilest lunches of all. Really? Really? What? I'm totally confused. One thing's clear. This lunch lady has a thing against prosecutors. What you witnessed. So what exactly was it that you witnessed, Miss Starr? It was a fascinating spectacle, to be sure. I now feel I know what they say when they talk about a woman's wrath. You see Lana Skye, you wield that knife, so... Her knife flashed in anger, bringing him to a sad end. It's truly a sight to see. You mean you saw the very moment of the crime? The sound of his silvery ties to this world being cruelly cut still ring in my ears. And the rhythmic beat of Lana Skye's knife. Wait a second. You know Lana Skye? Of course, it's quite a feat becoming chief prosecutor. How many lunchboxes of sin did she pack to make that journey, I wonder? She always travels late. Now, why would this pretty lunch lady know the chief prosecutor's name? Can we ask you a bit about yourself, Miss Starr? I come here every day to sell lunches. I import only the finest, freshest, and best from Far East. For some reason, the box lunches are a hit here. Why not make the lunches here rather than import them? Did you say something? No.
Only true connoisseurs can understand. The kind you can only tell someone who has tried General Tsao's trilobite lunch set. Ugh, never mind, you win. I don't even want to appreciate part of it. I don't even want to appreciate part of a trilobite flavor. Anyway, I come here every day to sell lunches. My boyfriend works in the security room here, the prosecutor's office. Your boyfriend? See the security room over there? The glass-walled booth? To sell my lunches, and since I'm here anyway, I drop in to see him. Since you're here anyway, I guess selling lunches is more important than romance. So to scientifically analyze the data available so far, you, Miss Star, are a lunch vendor with an ulterior motive for coming here. Useful analysis. Not. Did you have a bad experience with the prosecutor, Miss Star? I sense some hostility. Hostility? Perhaps. Prosecutors are all alike. The bigger they get, the worse they smell. Kind of like 10-day-old clams in a chowder. I wonder if Miss Star was involved in some sort of legal trouble in the past. That'd be a sure cause of food poisoning, scientifically speaking, of course. I mean, now you're talking, Coffin Queen. I thought she was just a lunch vendor, but now I'm not so sure. Hey, Pepper. Yep, not a problem. But this card. Lunchland vendors only accept cash, no cards, especially not a card belonging to someone else. No, this isn't a credit card, it's an ID. It belongs to a detective. And you're showing this to me, the lunch lady? Why? It's like showing a fine honeyed ham to a detective. Why do I always feel like I'm being mocked? Because you are. Can I? No. Oh. Defense attorney must be able to fight. How about you? Do you think you can win? How about tackling the Lunchland's Pickle Supreme lunchbox? Wow, it's really crunchy. A box of kind of a sad lunch, if you ask me. Okay, so I've already looked. Upstairs we go. Is that the Steel Samurai? February 22. High Prosecutor's Office. This is the kind of room that just screams, I can do the job. What a change from your office, really. Thanks. Look, there's a trophy or something there. Trophy? What, that shield? It takes real nerve to display stuff like this. Whoever's office this is must be a real stuck-up jerk. Phoenix Wright. Never tire of prying into other people's business, do you? That voice. Hello, Edgeworth. Long time no see, Edgeworth. Huh? Mr. Edgeworth! You know him from somewhere? Of course, I'm his biggest fan. My sister introduced us once, and right, her sister's the chief prosecutor after all. Well, what brings you here? I'll warn you, I've been known to be a real stuck-up jerk. No, no. It was just Mr. Wright here, Hey, don't blame me! We're just here to investigate a murder case. Murder? A body was found in this nasty bright red sports car in the parking lot. That would be my car. What of it? What? Your car? I'll say one thing, she certainly can scream. Edgeworth. So the body was found in your car. Go ahead, say it right. You think I did it, don't you? You went through all the trouble to help me last year, no less. No, we don't think you did it. I mean, it was my sister who stabbed him. Wait, no. She didn't do that. I mean... Wait. You're the chief prosecutor's little sister, then? Yes, sir. Emma Skye. It's nice to meet you again. No, that didn't sound forced at all. Now remember, you've really grown. I'll admit it was a surprise for me, too. To think that my own car would become the scene of a murder. More surprising still, I'm being forced to prove my superior's guilt. Wait, what did you say? Oh, shit. Lana Sky is the chief prosecutor, the top prosecutor in the district. She can't prosecute herself, so I'll be the prosecutor at the trial. You, Mr. Edgeworth? To be honest, it's a bit of a miracle I'm still here at all. What do you mean? Rumors. You've heard the rumors about me, haven't you? Miles Edgeworth. It's hard to remember a time when there weren't rumors about this guy. Forging evidence, arranging false testimony, illegal searches, you name it. Thanks to you, my innocence was established in the trial at the end of last year. However, there are some who say I'm the one responsible for the current incident. What? That's crazy. Some people need very little excuse to think ill of others. It's a fact of life, impossible to stop. But some of them even go so far as to present me with toys like this. They think it's funny. Toys that bronze shield? There's gotta be a story behind that one. Chief Prosecutor Sky, yes, we first worked together on a case 2 years ago. It was my first big case. That's right, I remember. 2 years ago. I wasn't even a lawyer yet. Since then, I always felt that she was looking out for me. It appears I was mistaken. Mistaken? Why? I mean, I know she's not the warmest person, but I'm sure she felt some responsibility for you. Then why did she stab someone in the trunk of my car? Not only that, she stabbed him with my knife. What? Miss Roger, your knife was the murder weapon? To be specific, it was the knife I keep in the toolbox in the trunk of my car. Here's a person. Edgeworth? What? Are you sure you didn't do it? Come on, can you take a drill? You have a strange sense of humor, Mr. Wright. I've been wondering, what the heck is this? It has a big K on it. Almost of prosecutors. Huh? The King of Prosecutors trophy. The King of Prosecutors? It's a great honor. They send that shield to the best prosecutor each year. What? So? So that K, that's... K stands for king? Yeah, you got a problem with that? I didn't design the thing. King of Prosecutors is kind of like Employee of the Month, only better. Wow, this jacket is even lacier than his usual ones. This must be his lucky trial jacket. Lucky jacket, right. I've never seen him wear it. I'm sure there's a story behind why it's framed. Maybe I'll be naughty and take a picture. She's getting way too excited about this. Yeah. My, what amazing bouquet. Just right for Mr. Edgeworth. No kidding. Hey, there's a card in it. Back from the dead. Wendy. Wendy? I've heard that name somewhere before. And beside it, a giant steel samurai. Wow, I want one. Huh? There's something written on the bottom of his foot. Between a rock and a hard place. Wendy. Is she Mr. Edgeworth's fiancé? Oh god, no. I don't think so. I agree, I don't think so. Ooh, cute! What a pretty tea set! I got more for the instant tea bags myself. Amazing. The drawer below is filled with packets of teas. They're all sorted by place of origin and flavor. Look at this royal blend. What an exquisitely splendid concoction. There is such a thing as taking a hobby too far. Hey, a chessboard! Not too up on my chest, but it looks like blue's in a bit of a tight spot. The red knights have surrounded the blue pawn. Huh? Those horses are mounted are knights. Their swords have really sharp edges. Hey, check it out, the poor pawn. His head is kind of spiky. Kind of reminds me of you. Mr. Edgeworth must be an avid chess player. What's wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Right? Bleh. Getting my characters mixed up. Edges surrounding a pawn with spiky hair. Nah, it's nothing. Whoa, these are all case files. They're stacked up to the ceiling. There's even a ladder. Odd. But Edgeworth wasn't good with heights. Let's have someone get them for him. Strange. Why did I just picture Detective Gumshoe? I must study these case reports so closely. He's so cool. You wouldn't saw that if you saw him sweating bullets up on that ladder. A work desk. It's quite tidy, as one might expect. What a nice desk. Easy to use, easy on the eyes. It's polished so well I can see my own reflection. Why am I thinking of Gumshoe? Strange. Why did I just picture Gumshoe? Maybe I'll take the name... Take that name plaque as a souvenir. Don't. He'll sue you. Wow. Mr. Etheridge has such a comfy couch. Sofas like this make me want to curl up and take a nap. I bet he pores over his case files here until the wee hours of the morning. Then he takes off his jacket, rolls up his sleeves, and goes to sleep using his arms as pillows. I don't believe it. She's actually daydreaming about Edgeworth working. But in the morning, he has soft hair and little creases in his cheeks from seams. I don't think she's daydreaming about him working. He's so cool. Soft hair is... What? I agree. Is there nothing else to... It must be the victim's blood, right? Either that or Edgeworth cut himself peeling an apple. What's Edgeworth doing with a knife like this anyway? Hey, maybe he spends his weekends roughing it in the wild. Edgeworth? In the wild? I think my fruit peeling theory is more likely. Are you kidding? I always pictured him as an outdoorsman. Oh, there's a scary thought. Yeah. There's no prints on it or anything. Hey, check it out! There's a name metal plate here. It looks like the names of all the previous recipients are engraved on it. Wow, one guy's listed a bunch of times. Von Karma. I guess he must be a foreigner. Oh yeah, that's probably it. Well, whoever he's from, he must be an amazing prosecutor. I'd like to meet Mr. Von Karma someday. When she says it, his name does kind of ring a bell to it. Yeah. Why is that broken, though? No, I didn't want to do that. I want to present that to him. Hey, Edgeworth. I was wondering about this. Mr. Wright, huh? What, are you sure you should be showing that to Mr. Edgeworth? Huh? Oh, he'll take it for sure, won't he? Wish I could be on the same side as Mr. Edgeworth. Then my sister would be found guilty. If she sighs any deeper, I'm going to start getting depressed. It's against my policy to discuss evidence with the defense. Especially with you. He doesn't like you very much, does he, Mr. Wright? Nah, with Edgeworth, it's never personal. It's all about winning tomorrow. So basically this says you were the best of the best last year, huh? You can take that foolish grin elsewhere, right? I lost a day of work to receive that travesty. Huh? Why is that? I had to go to the police department to receive that broken shield. Police department? Yes, right next to the police station downtown. You've been there, haven't you? Where Detective Gumshoe works? Yeah. I was wondering something about your shield. Why is it broken? Why does it matter? I got more important things to worry about. Oh, right. Doesn't seem too concerned about his word, for better or for worse. Yesterday was a very busy day for the prosecutor's office. Maybe we should ask him more about yesterday. I would love to talk about yesterday. Could you tell me more about yesterday, the day of the murder? Yesterday was the annual cleaning day of the prosecutor's office. Cleaning day? Working with the police department, we sort and file all evidence for solved cases. We call it evidence transferal. Wiping your hands of old cases, in other words. Alright, I got 3 hours of sleep last night because people redoing the carpets in the halls woke me up. I haven't been able to pass back out, so I'm off to bed. Good night, LCD. Thanks. Oh, and another thing, the ceremony was held at the police department. There's an annual review and awards for outstanding police officers and prosecutors. And that's when you got the shield. I was at the police department. Yesterday afternoon, I got back here at 5:12. That's very precise. People like myself and Mr. Edgeworth pride ourselves on our precision, Mr. Wright. No, I place little faith in my memory. The only thing I trust is the solid evidence. Edgeworth parking pass, step. Added to court record. This is the parking stop from the underground. Murder took place at around 5:15. So the murder happened right after you got back. What? Right? I'd appreciate if you direct that suspicious glare elsewhere. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm Edgeworth, what is it? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief. Sir, I've got your report, sir. What happened to his hand? Report? What? Did you find new evidence in the case against Chief Prosecutor Sky? I don't like the way this conversation is going at all. Sky, sir? No, sir. No name of that kind, sir. Not in this report, sir. I think I just heard Edgeworth's lip blow. Mr. Edgeworth isn't on very tight, is it? I made a clear request to the police department, did I not? I need to focus on the trial tomorrow, so don't bring me anything unrelated. Sir, sir! I'm just following orders, sir. They told me to bring this to you. I wasn't aware of the particulars of your arrangement with us, sir. Give me your name. Yes, sir. Meekins, sir. Officer Meekins. Right, Officer Meekins? Take your report and leave. And good luck with that raise next month. But, sir, I didn't know. Poor guy. Looks like he was absent on the day they gave out brains. And good luck! What is with his hand? Right. Yes, sir. Caught me off guard. As you can see, I'm busy. You may leave now. Let's do what he says, Mr. Wright. The victim was a detective from the same department as the patrolman just now. Go down to the police department. You can ask more there. Thanks. He seems to have finally calmed down at least. Yeah! Hold on. Oh, I can't go look at the car. Right, their mascot. Phew, we're finally here. Why did the police department so far away from the prosecutor's office? Beats me, that took almost 30 minutes by taxi, and the traffic wasn't even bad. Police department, huh? I've only been to criminal affairs next door. Hold on, what's that? That would be disturbing. Why does it undulate like that? Oh wait, I know, this is Blue Badger. Trying to make him the police mascot. Wow, Mr. Wright, you sure know a lot about the police. Still, he does seem familiar somehow. Forget the Blue Badger. Who's that next to him? Someone appears to be dancing with the Blue Badger? Oh, he noticed me. Sure is running over here fast. Hey, pal! What are you doing here? That's my line, Detective Gumshoe. Specifically, why are you dancing over there? Wait, what? Well, at least he doesn't seem busy. This is our chance to get information. Hey, I'll have you know I'm very busy man, pal. I'll give you one word of advice, pal. You'd better not agree to defend the suspect in this case. Wait, why not? Huh? Well, it's just that Chief Prosecutor has confessed to crime. She says she summoned the detective to the prosecutor's office and she killed him. But what if she's not telling the truth? Yes, well, no. Come on, pal, there's plenty of evidence against her. But what if the evidence was faked? Hey, pal, can I speak to you for a second? Huh? Me? Why is this little girl so peeved at me? She's a relative of the suspect. She's Lana Sky's sister. Whoa, the chief asks her little sister? Just please investigate this case carefully. Okay, scientifically? Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, you might want to keep your voices down. You don't want to be overheard using words like faked. Huh? It's a sensitive issue with us these days. So, what are you doing here, Detective Gumshoe? Me? Well, nothing, really. They kicked me out of criminal affairs. Detective Gumshoe, what did you do this time? What do you mean, this time? And what happened? I know things are busy right now. I mean, with my sister's case and all. It's true, we've never had a chief prosecutor murder of anyone before. Only the highest ranked people are being let into chief criminal affairs now. The lowest ranking guy in there is our chief of detectives. They're not letting any of us ranked and file detectives in at all. None of you? I know this is an important trial, but isn't that a little odd? So anyways, I thought I'd spend the day getting the Badger dance down pat. Isn't there anything else you could be doing? Chief of Police himself is directing this investigation, pal. An Officer Marshall was assigned to the underground parking lot. Marshall, now that I think about it, Emma did seem to know that Marshall guy. A patrolman in charge of the crime scene is unheard of, pal. I was wondering about that. What? The Dancing Blue Badger? It's my masterpiece. You made this, Detective Gumshoe? The chief threw together some designs and I just did my thing, pal. Nice work. Battery powered so it can go anywhere. There's no switch, so it just dances until the battery dies. Poor Blue Badger, fated to dance until he drops. Why is this part of the record? Oh my god. Usual wanted posters are hanging up on the bulletin board. Do you know his face? If you do, 911. No, Mr. Wright, I've always thought it was kind of funny. I've never seen anyone who looked like the people in these posters. They hardly even look human. She has a point. Mr. Wright, do you know why patrol cars are painted black and white? No idea. Why? Well, I think they're designed after a panda. And my brain just went... Panda? Not that I have scientific proof, it's just a theory. Do you mind me asking how you came up with that theory? It was when I was in school on a school trip. I saw a patrol car and it came to me. Just been at the zoo, see? Oh. What about zebras? Or did they not have those at your zoo? Banner here is announcing crime-fighting campaign. Nice slogan. I wonder if they'll be selling the fingerprinting sets. I don't think it's the campaign. What family wouldn't want a set at home? It's good for finding out who snuck into the cookie jar. I think most families can figure that out without the extra help. I always get excited when I come to the police station. Why is that? This feels like I've jumped into a movie. Huh? I'm with Phoenix on all this, I'm just saying. You know, with all the police and criminals, well, I don't know if this is all that exciting. Sure it is. Look, at those two officers over there. They're probably talking about the latest bust. Funny, I thought they were talking about the weather. Look at that. Patrolman is saluting the other guy. He must be a detective. And then I said, hey, you do that, your soup will get cold, buddy. That's hilarious, sir. I laughed so hard I cried. I guess he wasn't saluting. He was wiping tears from his eyes. They make a good pair. Detectives in there look pretty busy. Just imagine right now, behind those doors, a police drama in action. Somehow the thought fails to excite me. As a detective, I have to keep my mouth shut on that one. I know better than to go blabbing about things I don't know. No, I wouldn't want you to do that either. Good. I'm a detective. What can you tell me about this? Huh? Hey, pal, this detective ID card. You can't just keep that. You have to turn it to police. It's people like you that get me in so much trouble all the time. Meaning Detective Gumshoe must drop his card a lot. Let's see, Bruce Goodman. Goodman? Sounds familiar. Nah, my mistake. Continue. Whoa, now I remember. Bruce Goodman. He's the victim. That's what I thought. Can you tell us more, Detective Gumshoe? Let's not do the knife. Hey, that's it. That's the King and Prosecutor's Award that Mr. Edgeworth got yesterday. Were you at the award ceremony, Detective? Of course, pal. I got an award for diligence, myself. Congratulations. I was wondering why is this award a shield? And why is it broken? Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later. Apparently he's forgotten. But I was proud of Mr. Edgeworth for winning that award. Even with all the naysayers in the prosecutor's office. Naysayers must be because of the rumors. Found in Mr. Edgeworth's car, stabbed with a knife, huh? What would drive Chief Prosecutor to do such a thing? Wait, I mean, sure, of course, someone else really did it. Someone who must have grudged against Mr. Edgeworth's car and the knife do seem a little too well organized to be a coincidence. Poor Mr. Edgeworth, what could have happened? I have to find a little more about what's going on with Edgeworth. I kind of want to look at it. So this ID card belongs to the victim? He's a good he was a detective like me. Detective Bruce Goodman. I can tell that. Do you think it's strange? I mean, why would the victim's ID card be lying on the ground where we found it? Well, Detective Goodman should have been at the police department yesterday. There was evidence transferal for a case he handled 2 years ago. Evidence transferal. Mr. Edgeworth mentioned that too, but Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Well, that's the thing. It's hard to say this, but word is that Chief Prosecutor Sky called him out there to the parking lot. And I was confessing as much. He's in a tough spot again. Again? Well, it all started with the murder of that defense attorney, Hammond. Mr. Edgeworth was found innocent. Listen, pal, there have always been rumors about Mr. Edgeworth forging evidence, making deals with witnesses. Nothing outright, but there were always whispered rumors. Ever since he was accused of murder, no one's whispering. They're practically shouting. But there's no evidence against him. Well, Mr. Edgeworth has always had unusually strong ties to the department higher-ups. It's only natural that people would be suspicious. No idea he was under the gun. Anyway, this latest case has started a new rumor. People say the only reason he took this case is because he's aiming for the chief prosecutor's position himself. What? But I know the truth, pal. Nobody wants to be the one who has to prosecute the prosecutor. Mr. Edgeworth's biting the bullet on this one. He's doing this for all of us. And that's all I know about that. I'm not officially on the case, you know. Thank you. Why aren't you handling the case, Detective? You met the guy who is. What is his name? The guy in the parking lot? That'd be Officer Marshall. He was appointed directly by the Chief of Police. Officer Marshall. It's kind of a Wild West Sheriff or something? No, Jake Marshall's just a regular officer from West LA. For a moment there, I wasn't sure. Look, pal, let me try and make things a little easier for you. Show them this and they'll let you examine the crime scene. Maybe. I was better to investigate crime. I'll be surprised if this gets us anywhere. Just act like you're supposed to be there and nobody will look at you twice, pal. Nope, nothing more. Let's go back here. I have to be getting back to the shop. Sorry, looks like I'll be stuck in this pit till sun sleeps. I'll see you in my dreams then tonight, baby. Oh, still here. Ah, hello. Why the surprised looks? Didn't I mention? I've got a boyfriend in criminal affairs too. What happened to the security guard? I think she's the one that did it. Hey, what's wrong, Bambina? You're looking like a doggy that's lost its herd. Jake Marshall. Strange guy to put in charge of a crime scene. There's something I wanted to ask you. Scene of the crime, cold grave for men who've lost their dreams. For me, I watch over them as they sleep, dreaming in the desert's harsh judgment. He's asleep. Well, should we show this hopeless case something to catch his interest? There's something I wanted to ask you. Scene of a crime? Yeah, I will. Hey, look here, looks like something's been crossed out. Maybe it was a letter or something to Detective Gumshoe. Let's see, annual bonus, $20. I think a couple of zeros are missing. No, that sounds about right. At least in that detective's case. Maybe I should rethink my career as an investigator. No, don't do that! Dumb button. Do you mind reading this for me? What's this? I warn you, fan letters to me go right into the spittoon. It's a letter of introduction from Detective Gumshoe. Maybe we investigate. Gumshoe? Oh, that old cow dog? Holding a birthday party or something? Huh? Look, where it should say letter of introduction, it says invitation. Ugh, I think he just miswrote it. Wait, why am I getting all defensive here? No worries. This proves it's from Detective Gumshoe better than blood test. Guess I better let you in then. Thank you, Officer Marshall. Oh, that's right. He's a patrolman, not a detective. Which reminds me. Hey, wait a second. Isn't your crime scene supposed to be handled by a detective or higher? Well, folks, the clues are calling. Welcome to the Growth Strike. Be like the settler and strike out for lands unknown. Manifest destiny. Let's have a hootenanny. Note to self. Police investigations are like settling land. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? I say I won't be needing this anymore. Discarded. Yeah, because it is so not. Could you tell us more about the victim? Good men always die young, remember that, partner? Could you be a little more specific? Bruce Goodman, he was a detective, right? Well, well, aren't you feisty doggy right there, right now? Victim Goodman was stabbed here at 5:15. The smiling Madonna told me the tale. I think he means the witness, his angel star. One stab to the chest, a fine piece of work. Here's the autopsy report. Okay. My sister involved with the victim in any way? Funny you should mention that, Bambina. Prosecutor Sky and Detective Goodman had nothing in common at all. Nothing in common? They apparently worked together on a case a few years back, so there's no motive. Goodman wasn't particularly gifted detective. That's one reason why he didn't do much work with the prosecutor. But why my sister called the victim here on the day of the murder, right? Here to this parking lot. So it seems like calling an unarmed man to a shootout at high noon. I don't mean to be offensive. Are you a patrolman, right? Not a detective? You call me out? They shoot you for that in Texas. Huh? I was one of them fancy shoot detectives till 2 years ago, to tell you the truth. Oh, really? Now it tells me. But you're a patrolman now. So how can you be charged of crime scene? Nothing gets by you, does it, Bambina? So why are you in charge? No reason. We're just short on hands right now. I'm keeping an eye on it out in the meantime. That's odd, though. Detective Gumshoe was saying he had nothing to do. Nothing important, at least. He's nothing but a saddled cow dog that can't find his tail. Maybe it's because he runs with Edgeworth, eh? Edgeworth. Cow dog's been kicked out of the cattle run by order of the chief of police. Just, he don't realize it yet. Boop! Aha! Alright, B block. It's through there. That's where visitors park. I can see the Lunchland car over there, far in the distance. Hey, you're right. I like the cute design on the door. I can see a cartoon cow munching down on juicy-looking steak. Doesn't it strike you as a little creepy? Just don't look too deeply into it, and you'll be fine. A block. This is reserved for prosecutors. Defense attorneys are relegated to B block. Dream the day when I'll be able to park my car here. I'll go to B block to buy my hamburgers from you, Mr. Wright. I'm not planning on giving my job up that soon. Looks like a cell phone. Scientific analysis would suggest this belonged to the victim. Can't think of anyone else who would belong to it. What's so scientific about that? Should we check it out? Right, let's check it out. I'm not doing that. Hello. This phone's still on the redial screen. Redial? Mr. Wright? Most phones keep a record of all the calls you've made and received. You just press the blue button to display the last number you called. Convenient, isn't it? I'm surprised you didn't know that. Sorry to disappoint you, but I even know about things like redial. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. Just, you never know with people from your generation. Whatever, let's check this phone out. Now, let's see who the owner of this phone call is. When self-defense attorney doesn't think first, he just pushes the button. Hey, that song, I know that. Hey, what's going on over there? Sorry. I see, partner. You pressed the redial on that Verifone, didn't you? Well, yeah. Whose phone is this anyway? It was on the ground over there. Whose is it? That belongs to Chief Prosecutor Sky. What? That's my sister's. She apparently dropped it when she was taken into custody right after the crime. Like, the last call was made right when the murder occurred. Looks like she was fixing to call someone. Except she only spoke for a few seconds according to this. Who did she call? No idea. Sorry, partner. Now, I got a question for you. I heard a phone ring just now. One of those newfangled ringtones. Oh, that? Oh. Sorry, that was my phone. What? Your phone? Yeah, it's kind of strange, but someone called me right as we picked up the other phone. Wrong number. I hope you're not lying. They shoot you for that in Texas, partner. I don't like him. I've incited the wrath of a Lone Star Patrolman. How did they do this outline? This rope, is it? Yep. They laid it on the outline of the victim's body. So, wait. The victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him? Huh? You have got to be the only person I know that would come to that conclusion. Appears to be a car where the body was found. It looks like the lock on the trunk is busted. The crime took place in their underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car. And why is he hanging out? What a luxury car. It just screams, I have money to burn. Yeah, prosecutors get the big bucks. What's this? Looks like a note of some sort. 675-12-2. Looks something's written on it. Goodman. You're right, let's see. 67S12/2. The name printed on the paper above it. Goodman. He didn't fell in his pocket when he was killed. Well, so what does it mean? How am I supposed to know? Note to self. For deductive reasoning, go to Edgeworth, not right. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Sure, Edgeworth wouldn't know what this means either. Still think. So there's no connection between Detective Goodman and my sister. That's correct, ma'am, but there's a gold mine of evidence against her. And the prosecution more is none other than Edgeworth himself. I'm afraid your sister's fate is decided, Bambina. Many condolences. Officer Marshall? Yeah, Bambina? How can you say that? You and my sister, you were... Is there something between this cop and her sister I don't know about? I apologize, Bambina. Something must have gotten to me. Maybe it's the dry wind that's a-blowing through the prosecutor's office. Dry wind or ill will. Someone's up to something, but who? Ah, sorry. As much as I love music in the background, suspicions about Mr. Edgeworth have been flying around for nearly 2 years now. Forged evidence, ranging testimonies, you mean? He's unbeatable because he did whatever it took to win. Unbeatable is until he met you. But rumors are just rumors, aren't they? These are prosecutors we're talking about. Evidence is everything to them. If you follow the rumors about Edgeworth to their source, you find one person, but they're off limits. Untouchable, you might say. One person who, hate to say this, but just his sister, Bambina, Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye. What? My sister? Edgeworth couldn't rustle all those cattle by himself. Some people load their guns with bullets, some people load them with deals. What you're saying Edgeworth was making deals to win trials? Where there's gunshots, there's bound to be bullets. That's what the old-timers say. There's a big old secret hidden around here somewhere, and everyone knows it. Is that why Detective Degumshiu was taken off the case? Did they target him because he was closest to Edgeworth? So, well, how are we doing, Mr. Wright? I guess we've got some clues. We have an autopsy report, a note from the victim, and a cell phone. So you think we'll be okay? Well, the only thing still bothering me is that Lana is confessing to the crime. She says she did it. No problem. I can guarantee that she's not the criminal. Oh, by the way, Emma. Yes? I know that song your phone plays when it rings. What? It's the Steel Samurai theme song, isn't it? Popular TV show for kids. Phone that rang earlier wasn't mine. It was yours. At 5:18, just after the murder took place, your sister called you, didn't she, Emma? I'm sorry. Can you tell me what you talked about? She hung up right away. I see. Detective is murdered, and the suspect is the top prosecutor in the district. I got a bad feeling about this. Like maybe I still don't know everything that went on here. That's because we don't. Yes! Duh! We are so screwed. We really are. There is so little evidence. And I haven't even looked at all the evidence yet. Because I didn't get a chance to. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas. Okay, before we do this, let's look at this, shall we? Name of deceased. Date and time of death. Okay. Cause of death, loss of blood from chest wound. Wound was caused by a 4.5-inch knife. A single stab wound was found. Oh, no, not. Oh, I can't. Or rather, the whole thing is a big gray area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice, yes? Defense attorneys should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Skye, you remind me a lot of Mia. There's one decisive difference between you and her, and that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without Faye helping me. No one's gonna bail me out this time. I'll be all alone in there. So I have to discover the truth by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. No, you're going to be sitting up in the audience. Oh, look, we have the same judge, as always. Courtroom is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Defense attorney is ready, Your Honor. Wait. Okay, yeah. Technically, when we had the far back view, they were reversed. I'm just saying a little glitch, you know. Consistency. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since this trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose a path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. Judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she is rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime, a professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls the first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The cough-up queen? Wait a minute. If she's there at lunch, why was she there at 5:15? Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Ho ho, caviar. I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down. Just for the record, that would be illegal. I would not be allowed in the courtrooms. Ah, and for you, I have a Fiesta Bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? And you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It's too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone knows about caviar. It's so tasty, it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? I agree, Phoenix. Name, profession, now. Me? The name is Angel Starr. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I've not finished eating. Oh my god. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. Huh? What exactly does that mean? Well, I have my thoughts, that's for sure. And it ain't good ones. Till 2 years ago, Miss Angel Starr was a special investigator with the police. Wait. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Starr was a detective? Ah! I know who you are. Cough up. Cough up Queen Angel Starr, Your Honor. Long time no see. Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Starr. Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. Block A is for the prosecutor's office personnel, and Block B is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor spaces, yes? The crime took place by a car in the back of A block. In the car's trunk, the killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. How? It's not her car. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness, and an arrest was made on the spot. And who is this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright? I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush on what little hope they remain? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Starr. Wait, what are you talking about me? Witness testimony. Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver the lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to the garage car. Chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend? How touching. As you can see, there's no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of a knife which you saw being stabbed in Detective Goodman. So how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Very well. You may cross-examine the witness. Huh. Hold on a second. Uh... Wait, what? Yeah. Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend.
Hold it!
His boyfriend. He's a detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend? You have several? Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. I'll stick with the lunches, thanks. Note to self, the judge had to think before replying. The security guard room is in the lot in Block A. It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunch boxes by your car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in Block B. So she was in Block B when she witnessed the crime. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective intuition. Through the wire fence, I saw the prosecutors standing there. By garish car, you mean Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Edgeworth's? Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's, wasn't it? Indeed it was. What odd case this is. And the person you saw, are you sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no farther than 30 feet. I'm certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. We're dealing with Edgeworth here. I need something more substantial than that. Can you tell us what the suspect was doing when you saw her? The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointing tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest.
Hold it!
Tell the court why you didn't stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, yeah? Depends on the point. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes. The next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only a flesh wound, right? We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Why is that like that? There we go. Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that. Somehow I always knew.
Hold it!
How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods are always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim, killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired? To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I'm a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well. You may continue, Miss Starr.
Hold it!
We've already gotten this.
Hold it!
Oh, you keep it those as yourself. Future. Huh? Rookie. Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fight like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was uninspiring. I believe I've heard the tagline somewhere. You could cry plagiarism. I may be relegated to the lowly postler lunch lady, but my instincts are honored. A photograph. You took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap, I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunch boxes is rigged with a camera. Suppose that's more exciting than just hanging around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph now? You think I'd show it to you, prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs. Well, this most certainly is the defendant. Oh, that is unmistakably Lana Skye. So, what was the defendant doing at the time? Chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her hand.
Hold it!
Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all. It's about right. Prosecutors are, by nature, well versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg. I mean person. Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor? So the defendant was holding a knife. What then? Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into the detective's chest.
Hold it!
Tell the court why you didn't try and stop the crime. You did see her raise the knife and strike. No. The defense has a point. Unfortunately, by the... So it's too late. Yeah. No, not that one. I keep hitting the wrong button. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. Huh? It does? I don't see anything contradictory. Anything? Huh? Objection overruled. Try to think before you... Ah! I did it too late. Okay, hold on. Yeah. That's what I wanted.
Objection!
And you witnesses, you saw Miss Guy stab the victim with her knife. As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon for a lunch. I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This photograph you took at the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Guy not holding the knife? Ahem. Miss Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection? That had to be the weakest objection ever. Yet it was still stronger than your ever feeble mind. What do you mean, Miss Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after.
Objection!
And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photo. Yeah, it could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I have seen no problem here. It's up to you. Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take the kind of abuse? Oh, you got a better idea. Wait, that contradicts what the witness said to the president, namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. That's it? If you run out of lunch, your order is seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering a jumbo-sized lunchtime from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Skye was cold calculating like a robot. She'd killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder.
Objection!
Premeditated? How do you know that? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in the photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? Not premeditated. She would not be wearing those gloves. Ah! These gloves do seem to tell the tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder is a serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. Murder was planned.
Objection!
Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell lunchboxes for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Edgeworth's truck. Indeed, it is my knife. Light murder weapon, red car, all belonging to the prosecutor. Defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district. The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you state that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those certain special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? Ugh. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. Ah! Order! 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 I'll take a ham and cheese, please. Great, now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sisters are good as free. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Ah, the prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. What? The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with the knife. That is the only thing prosecution need to prove. Nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing... I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now? Angel's deduction. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure that's the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could have presented the human machine to plunge the knife again and again. Wait a minute. Why are you not... Oh, I can't do it then. That's why. Victim was summoned to the from the police department to the prosecutor. Does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. Yeah, see, even I have a question about that one. You said she stabbed him again and again. But you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise! I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this. But take a look. The autopsy report states the death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha, you're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. What a hunk. He's my hero, really. What about my objection? No one noticed? Well, witness, you got the crime scene set, right? What? Oh, thanks. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. What? But now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. I'm confused by what she's saying. No, come here. She's not wearing one.
Objection!
Miss Starr, I demand an explanation.
Objection!
The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she was stabbed. And you've proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be. Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations. Perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edward prevails. What about my objection? Chopped liver? But it was there, a scarf. No, not that. But something red, really. Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What? Very well. Witness, continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Ugh. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. Most important part? The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might be just a moment of truth. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. And yeah, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what I had me confused in my testimony earlier. The chief prosecutor made an escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile. You're quite determined about the scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. Chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Roar! Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination will begin. This woman's already irritating me. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. You say quickly. You were close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press for more details. Press! There's a gate in the way. I have to see this on the floor plans just to be safe. She was here. That doesn't work. She was in the visitor, thus parked in block B, so you witnessed the murder from here? That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes. Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right. But there's a chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course. Amazing, the cough-up queen, lunch lady, athlete indeed. It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. So she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too. So how did Miss Skye not get away? Yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. She mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say? I remember exactly. I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was muffler. Just that one word. So what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else? Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean... By phone, do you mean the cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? My memory is like a salmon heading upstream, you see. No, the court doesn't seem to start. The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently it was out of order, so she used her cell phone. Indeed, the emergency phone, it was out of order that day. Good witnessing, witness. Whatever happened to good testifying? You should, of course, add that to your testimony. The things I do please this rookie defense lawyer. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court? Aha! I was just going to ask the same thing. Only say this one time, so listen close, rookies. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. She then picked up the emergency phone that was on the wall, and it was out of order. So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence. And then I boldly grabbed her arm. Chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this. What is it, Mr. Wright? Chief prosecutor.
Hold it!
She made to escape. Can you be more specific? She brushed aside my hand and ran. It was a terrible sight to see, like a dollop of lard on a pâté of foie gras. Huh? She even kicked over an oil drum at me. An oil drum. There was an oil drum lying on the side of the scene of the crime, but it's strange. What is that? If she wanted to escape, why didn't she run the other way? The parking lot entrance. That's right. It doesn't make any sense that she would run from behind the partition to the oil drums. Excellent. More mysteries. Wish we could solve a few before finding more. Sky tried to run. I'm sorry, my sister is so suspicious, Mr. Wright. Not as sorry as I am. But she didn't do it. You have to believe me. After the murder, suspect attempted to run behind a partition of the wall. Quickly caught her and explained her rights to her. On the spot. Ah yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. I saw it all. On the phone.
Hold it!
Ah, no. That's not what I wanted. Shit. Yeah. That's not the button I wanted. Shit. I need the... That one. Thank you. That one.
Objection!
Mr. R, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against me.
Objection!
Witnesses affirm objection. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? But you who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction we have with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Message me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Ahem. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't have possibly seen Miss Sky making the phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. Ah! Order, what is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lies, she's coughing up lies.
Objection!
That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you would allow me to question exactly what lie this witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about... where she saw it? Yeah. Tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is the significance of that about that fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Starr to lie about it. Pointless to lie. Yeah, I see. But say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Starr witnessed the crime from a different location.
Objection!
different location. Now that's a pointless lie if I've ever heard one.
Objection!
Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? All the testimony we've heard until now points to one direction. The place from where Miss Starr witnessed the crime was here. Boop.
Take that!
This is the only place where she could have been. Security guard. Indeed, the security room in the underground property line is well positioned. It's built on the second floor, so you can see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there, but why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecution's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Starr? How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think the tables could be turned. Today a man has got the better of Amy Starr. Order! Order! Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective, you should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished, and I'll do what I must to make sure that justice prevails. The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Skye? Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Starr lie? It doesn't make sense. Huh? She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't have changed anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. This photograph tells that it was the defendant who stabbed the victim. The truth stands.
Objection!
It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from Block B. It must be a vital difference. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime.
Objection!
Distance between the scene of the crime and guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see.
Objection!
What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the crime scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime, where you arrested Miss Skye? Well, witness, you... Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? Quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing PB&J lunch from fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. Boysenberry for the boyfriend? He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running toward the scene. But the door was locked, so I couldn't open it. So she had to go all the way around. That's why I had to go through the visitors' parking in Block B. That's quite the detour. It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. 5 minutes? This changes things considerably. But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork. You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention. Would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely. Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this?
Objection!
5 minutes between witnessing the murder and the arrest. You could make pasta in that amount of time, if you'd like it al dente. I've got lunch boxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange. If you were a criminal, what would you do in 5 minutes, Your Honor? Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey! Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill him. At this point, everybody in the judicial system has killed somebody. But you have the instincts of a killer, you would run. But this was different. This guy dawdled at the scene of the crime. She had even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Ah! Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and the blank in the testimony. Mr. Edgeworth is the next witness ready to go. Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that can shut! That was too close. I'm afraid that the coughed-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned. Well then, what? Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist on me. I prefer not to take defense's team's leftovers. Anything to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. What was that? Is this another one of her trick lunch boxes? Yes. My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask you, Miss Starr. Ah. This is your jumbo love. Woo! A triple-decker. Oh my god, she's bribing him with food. Out of the difference to the witness's determination, I'll allow this one more testimony. Let's hear the estimate, the decisive evidence. Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. Is she gonna pull out her lunchbox this time? I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. What? There was blood found on the shoe? Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple, as I've already said. I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed? Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, the shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, the shoe has already been tested by a number of the forensics department. As you can see, it was proved by the police department. As of today, even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Ah! Is that right? I seem so. Edgeworth is looking pretty solid. You could at least study some evidence law, really. I did at one point. Prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness. Anything to ensure that the guilty is properly judged. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness.
Hold it!
You can't let this evidence go without a fight. Your order of peppered fish guts? Ugh. Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client. She's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with the shoe? Problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the shoe? There's a problem with the shoe! You automatically check the shoe. No, if I'm not imagining things, I'd say there's one critical problem with evidence. The clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes. You're still a young rookie. I give you a pepperfish gut now, but you couldn't take the heat. Let's hear what you have to say. What's contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with this evidence. Okay.
Take that!
I wonder if you noticed there's blood on the bottom of the shoe. Don't mess with me. It'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Indeed, there's blood. Quite blood. It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. Could possibly be contradictory, but the blood on the bottom of the shoe. Boop. That one.
Take that!
The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Note the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why isn't there any bloody footprints found by the crime scene of the crime? Aha! There's no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about the shoe.
Objection!
The picture only shows part of the floor. There should be... So there could have been bloody footprints.
Objection!
Then where are they? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. Order, order, order. Well, witness. What? Great going, Mr. Wright. But it's true that the lack of footprint is a contradiction. But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. Oh, that's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. Wright, think. Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There was one vital hint in the truth of her testimony. What are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. Knocked my hands aside and kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. The water. I thought it was a strange thing for a normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that, I'm not sure I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory. Witness! Well, was the oil drum empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over, the real reason? Ah, you don't mean... Yes, the suspect knocked over the oil drum for the reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against him. Ah! Ties it. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to this murder. Then, after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. That reminds me, Miss Sky's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she cut it herself when she stabbed him? So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe? Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. Mr. Wright, do something, please. What? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime, and she tried to conceal it. But enough. There is no need for further debate the verdict, Your Honor. Very well. But Angel Star is on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water. This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you say I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yes, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, I thought you had your fill, but here you are, demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. The lunchbox caused evidence. Wait, witness? Don't tell me you have something else. Time for deliberations to pass. Any further comments you will held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare the cough-up queen. Look at this. A photograph. I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim. I see no room and error in this evidence. Mr. Wright, wait! Look at the asphalt on his foot. Hey, it's clearly wet. There's also something in the muffler, erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia. Right? What or not? Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off the asphalt and take another look. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end. I'm having hallucinations, folks. Ah! This is the last piece of evidence. Very well. This time I'd like to declare a verdict for the good.
Objection!
Your Honor, wait. What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? No. Whatever it is, can it wait? No, it can't. Then it will be too late. Look at this photograph, the last one submitted. The trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, Wright, are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah, I think later. There's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this. I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem with this photograph. Boop.
Take that!
The problem in this photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler. Wait, just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor, you just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph. A muffler is also part of a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as a part of the exhaust system, a pipe. I see, and... Okay, a judge is gonna know what a muffler is, okay? Ugh. What's that suspicious-looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler? So what if there's something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why it's so important to this case. You said as much in your testimony. What? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on mind. Tell us what you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to in this case. The star? Recall your testimony for the court. Yes, when I arrested her, she said mention the muffler. That's when she had me confused in the testimony. Muffler. Ugh. Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. Ah! Ah! I love how they do that. Well, it seems we have to suspend proceedings. Suspend? I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. To leave any question unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so. Phew, that was close, but we made it, at least for now. The court will adjourn for 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all. He's still hungry? Alright. Alright, guys, I'm going to call it here for today. Thank you for hanging out with me. Yes, I want to save the progress. And we'll continue on this next week. We'll get this episode finished and on the Wednesdays, and that'll give me some time to figure out what next I'm going to play. I might go back to Overlord to do Overlord 2, or I might play one of my many other games that I have that I've not yet played. Or maybe I'll go do Monster Hunter. I don't know yet. I don't know. It's to be determined. So, thanks for hanging out. And we are going to bump us out to... Yeah. Escape. No, escape. That button. Yes. Yes. Let's get over. We're gonna go raid Sanjin because he's playing console nights, and I don't know what he's playing tonight. Oh, he's playing Ark. I thought he was playing. Oh, he's doing PS3. So that's right. He's doing vanilla. So thanks for hanging out, guys, and we will catch you guys all laters next times. Byes.
Oh crap.